Talk to me a little bit, guys, about what it was like on the road for Brick back then at your peak in the late 70s. Who are some of the guys that you went out with, and could you just share with me like one or two like sort of unforgettable things you remember about touring back then?
Well, I remember we were out on the road, and we were out there with Parliament, Funkadelics. We were out there with Mother's Finest, the Barcades. Oh gosh, on and on and on, and different artists, and going to different cities, and I mean, it was a fun thing to me,
Went down to Acapulco. Who do we see? Sammy Davis.
Yeah, Sammy Davis Jr.
Acapulco.
And you know where? It was at a bullfight.
Yeah, bullfight. We played there.
Yeah, that was one of the most fantastic things. And I'm gonna tell you about this. Sammy Davis was further down from us, and the bull was in the ring, and so what I did, I sat in with the Mexican band, and I played trumpet, and I played I played that, and the bull stopped. He stopped and looked up in the audience and everything, and so Sammy Davis turned around and threw his thumb up, like this, it's some nice things that happen, real good things. Yeah.
You guys were like matadors on that one.
Yeah, right.
So getting back to the way that chronologically how things went, in 1978, Brick took a year off. There was no album. I think the next one, Stoneheart, came out in '79, and
Right.
I don't know if that's where you're talking about, where producers start kind of tinkering with the formula, but to me, I'll just be honest, I just didn't think it was as strong as the first two records, and it didn't do quite as well. So talk to me a little bit about what was going on there, and how'd you guys feel about that album?
Well, it wasn't mixed right, the Stoneheart album and a lot of the albums, because we were out of our element with our engineer, and people who really knew what sounds we were looking for. We were basically, after that, we were around strangers. And strangers don't know your sound. They don't know where it came from.
Right.
But when you around somebody that knows what it takes to get a dead audience up and what energy it takes, and you got the formula. And so we just had to get around people who are into that hot formula.
Right. Ray Parker got us really close to what Brick sound, really about. Ray Parker Jr. And because Sweat Till You Get Wet, it went to top 10. It went top 10. Sweat Till You Get Wet. So he did a good job with us, but still, it wasn't really the Brick sound. The Brick sound.
Well, yeah, Sweat was a great record too. I was really glad to hear that you come back with that one. But on Stoneheart, so what happened? Was there personnel changes at the label? Because I mean, why would they tamper with your great success formula at that point?
Well, they just wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to listen to us.
No, they didn't want to listen. No,
we were telling them what to do, but they didn't want to listen.
Right. They just felt that we had to have a producer, and we really didn't need that. We really didn't need anyone to produce us, because the way we were successful is really like we said earlier, working together as musicians, and that was the difference.
See, the way it was in the beginning, we were left alone in the studio to create,
right,
and just leave them alone and let them come up with it within the time that they want to come up with it. Don't rush them, and we had to feel it. And so one day a week, every Wednesday from 12 to 6, that's when we got,
we came up with
some stuff.
But when they took that away, then it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
I want to go back in time and shake some sense into those guys, because man, it's like, didn't they hear "Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody"? I mean, you gotta not mess with it.
See, a lot of times they thought somebody else did it.
Yeah.
They didn't believe that we did it. And that was what so tripped us out. Like we make up a song, then they gonna act like we didn't make it up.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask this. So back then, late 70s, did you guys listen much? You were touring with a lot of other well-known bands. Did you pay much attention to what they were doing? Did you pay much attention to trends, or did you try to kind of keep blinders on and just do more of your own thing? I mean, what influences from outside affected you guys?
Well, a lot of people followed up our lead, the way we dressed. You know, we came in different. They copied off of us.
Yeah, they came in, you know.
So we didn't really copy off of nobody. Yeah. They copied off of us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
All right, so the next album was Waiting on You, which
didn't do
I thought was pretty good too. I mean, I thought it was definitely better than Stoneheart. Push Push was pretty good. Waiting on You was a good cut. But at that point, maybe the label wasn't doing what they needed to do from a promotional aspect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Also, I noticed on that record, looking at credits, you guys had some outside players. Was this the first time I see some names like backing vocals and additional keyboards and things like that? Was that like the label's doing, or what happened there?
Well, down on Nivens, you know, he passed, and so he was replaced by Ambrick to play keyboards. And basically everything else was basically the same. Yeah,
you know, well, you know, we use the string players from the symphony orchestra.
Right.
In fact, on Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. We use the string players from there, and we use some girls too, right?
Veronica and
right on different songs like that, you know. But other than that, it was all of us, you know, just all of us.
Right.
And Push Push actually was a bit of a comeback. It got to number 21 on the R&B chart.
Yeah, yeah, Push Push, yeah.
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 You know, I wanted to point out also that throughout, you know, Brick's recorded history, you know, you look at the themes, the lyrics, the sound, the vibe has always been very positive, upbeat. You know, where did that influence and philosophy come from? You know, where's all that positivity come from with the band? I mean, it's uplifting music.
Well, basically, a lot of people in the band go to church, and we just wasn't into that, you know, other type of language. We just wanted to keep it clean. And the cleaner that we kept it, it seemed like the further we could go with it.
Yeah, the more positive everything is, you know.
Little kids be listening to it.
And then too, you know, you have to feel positive. That's my thing. Feeling positive, and you want the people to feel what you feel. You know, you want them to get out there and jump up and down and have a good time and love the music and everything. So that's what it is, you know, just being positive about everything, you know, your music and the people and everything.
Just like a hot minister getting ready to preach a hot sermon.
Right.
And Victor, for you being back there behind the kit, what's it like being back there and seeing Regi and Jimmy up there doing their thing?
Well, it's amazing because, like I said, I never thought I'd be up on the stage with the group. I was a fan of Regi. I wanted to be a guitar player, so now I got the best seat in the house. I get the chance to be back there playing with him and watching a great show from some great musicians, some idols.
Yeah, our next goal to take Vic into the studio and create.
Vic is an outstanding drummer.
Right.
He's a very powerful drummer because Brick's music, it takes a lot of energy in order to play it. And I mean, he plays it all the way. Right.
Get energy from it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm curious, you know, there seems to be a lot of synergy between guitar and drums. You know, there's guys like Ernie Isley I can think of did both, and of course Prince did both. And so Vic, I'm curious, you know, your interest in guitar, did that inform your drumming in some kind of way? How do those relate to each other?
Well, the sound that Brick had, guitar, the rhythm of the guitar always was very interested to me as playing guitar as a hobby. Then when I started playing drums and working with Jimmy's son, which is Sleepy Brown from Organized Noise, I was over there and I started back to listen to their songs. And when he told me they was looking for a drummer, I saw opportunity. I can get in and come in and bring what I had to the band into what their drummer already had before and just recreate the wheel. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And like I said, get the chance to play with some legends. Who gets a chance to do that in their lifetime?
Especially ones that are still as good as they ever were, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't miss a beat. Because I try to push him to the limit.
Yeah, he pushed. No doubt about it.
That's perfect for push.
Yeah.
So in 1981, we talked about it a lot already, but Ray Parker Jr. came in and helped you get back to your roots with Sweat. Also, the title track was really good. There were other good cuts on that Summer Heat album in 1981. Right. You know, so how did you connect with Ray Parker, and what was it like working with him?
Our management got us in touch with Ray Parker. That was Cavallo Ruffalo, and so they got us in touch with Ray Parker.
Yeah.
And what was he like working with? How was it different from what you'd done before? I mean, he is such a seasoned session player. For viewers and listeners, this was before he really hit it big on his own as a solo artist, although radio had some hits, but it was before Ghostbusters and that kind of stuff. Right. So what was he like?
Ray, we got with him right before he did Ghostbusters, so he copied a lot of my licks. Yeah, he copied my style.
Okay, he stole from me. Got you,
throwing down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So, you guys must have been very hardened though when Sweat You Got Wet went back up the charts, and you guys were like, "Oh man, it feels so good to get that weight off and get back out there," right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it got us back, you know, in the people's eye. In other words, we got back out doing concerts and everything. So it was great, you know. And but like I said, it's really phenomenal for us to be still out here today.
40 years later.
41 years.
41 years.
Okay, later, and we still kicking. So, hey, that's straight. That's wonderful.
No question about that. It is phenomenal. The Summer Heat album also had Ollie Brown. Did Ray Parker bring him in, or how'd that?
Yeah, he did. He did some things. Sound.
Yeah, he did
on some tracks. Sweat Till You Get Wet. Yeah.
So then after that, you had two more albums, After Five, which I think this is the cover from that they used on Best.
Right, that's the cover right there. Yeah, right. We had the tuxedos.
Yeah, in the back with the
Jerry curl.
Right, and the Jerry curl.
I got the crystal bricks.
Right, the crystal bricks in front. Yeah, that was a nice album.
Yeah, so you had the After Five in '82, and then nothing until '88. So what was kind of happening at that point? Why was there such a delay between those two records?
Well, you know, like during that time, you know, we actually wasn't playing. You know, we weren't. It was a long time before we actually went back, got back out. You know, started playing again. I believe it was at least what 15, 17 years before. You know, we just
cut it off.
We just cut it off. We weren't playing anywhere. You know, some of us was playing locally and, you know, stuff like that, but
we didn't have no management.
No, we didn't have any management or anything. So we
really just shut it down.
We just shut it down, you know. And we got with Norman Smith, right? Yeah, this promoter Norman Smith, we got with him. And we worked with him for about how many years?
15 years.
15 years. So we were going out doing concerts again, you know, with him. But that was every now and then. Okay. So that went down and everything, but so finally, like 3 years ago, now, we got with Belinda. You know, Belinda Purval. She said, well, I'll come on and see what I can do with these.
She took us from the ashes. She took us from the ashes of nothing to plains looking at clouds.
And actually, Victor actually introduced us to Belinda, okay? Because he knew Belinda, because Belinda worked for my son, Sleepy Brown, with Outkast. She was working with him, so he was familiar with Belinda. He knew what Belinda could do. And she said, I guess he went to us, you think you can get this old car cranked up?
Yeah.
And get it going.
So Vic and Belinda kept everything together.
Right.
That's how we.
That's
why we still ticking.
We had to go get somebody to keep the heart going. So
yeah,
she got the blood flowing back for him again.
Yeah.
So now we back powerful as ever now.
The only thing we missing is hair.
No, he got here.
I got all my hair. But right now, we got a well-oiled machine now.
We back out here now, for real. We are actually working.
We are back out band. We are a happy band.
That's right. We're a happy band because we're a working band.
Excellent. So when you say happy now, you really mean it.
Members.
Right.
Let me ask you guys, let's talk about funk music for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody says to you, describe funk, what does it mean to you? How do you describe it? Everyone seems to have a little bit different take, but I'm curious what it means in your minds.
Mm-hmm. Well, my thing is putting rhythms together, okay? Like with Vic, for instance, Vic could play a certain rhythm and automatically came with me to be able to hear what the bass should be doing, he's doing. This is how I come up, and the chord changes, and this is how I base my funk thing as far as coming up with funk, and the thing about it, I've always believed this: if I can feel it, then somebody else can. If I can't feel what's happening, and I feel like then it's not, it's not there. And that's, and I believe that's what's happening with Regi. As far as Regi can come up with rhythms, he can play guitar parts and play other guitar parts against that guitar part, and it happens. It's just automatic.
Yeah, you have to play your instrument for a while, maybe about 4 or 5 hours straight, and then your fingers start doing things. It's like magic. You might accidentally hit a note and you use it.
I've heard it said that part of it is, what you don't play, the spaces,
Yeah, that's true too.
And I mean, that has to be so much about feel, right?
Yeah, funk is simplicity. It's simplicity.
Yeah, it's simplicity. That's
it's
right.
Simplicity. That's all it is. It's driving simplicity.
Right.
And a lot of musicians, they go out, they try to just show you everything they can play in one song. And then it's not, funk is grooving, vibing, grooving. And if you can lock a groove and vibe, then you got some funk.
You got some funk.
And that's what I learned from these guys right here.
Yeah, that's simplicity.
Yeah, come in, make it simple and drive it.
Right, and drive.
And you got it.
Yeah, that's it.
So it hadn't failed for me yet. I've been here 15 years. So
yep.
Besides, I told them they couldn't get rid of me anyway.
Right.
That's what you're picking up at Brick University, right?
Right. I'm about to get my 5th degree.
So how do you guys keep it fresh, when you're playing these songs that, from, 40 years ago or whatever? And, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the response you get from the crowd, but, how do you keep it from becoming sort of routine and keep it fresh when you keep playing?
Well, to me, you gotta approach the song just like you played it the first time. Go in there with that kind of energy and execute it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then it's all based upon what you do with your music. If your music is still growing in people's ears, you have to be open for the new things, and you just put them in just enough to where you still current.
Right. We have like 3 to 4 generations of people that knows Brick's music, and it's still out there today. I even seen little children today, you know, babies, and you can put Dazz on and they start jumping. You know what I mean? So the energy, my energy, the way I get my energy from everything is when we go out and we get on stage and we go in, they ain't gonna hurt nobody, and when people jump up in the air, that's all I feel good and fresh every time after all of these years.
Just keeping a crew of musicians that are current with everything and that knows what they have to do and know their parts.
That's it.
And it goes back into having a manager that having an ear that listening for all the things that you're supposed to do to keep it current. We do.
Yep.
We are a well-oiled team.
Yep.
What do you guys make of the current state of music today? You know, and if I don't know if you have sons or nephews or anybody that's thinking about going to music or musicians, you know, what advice do you give the young guys?
Well, music nowadays is mostly made up with computers and everything, and a lot of times they're copying off each other. What I miss is originality, you know, original creativity out there, and that you can feel.
Yeah. And speaking of that too, you know, the young fellas, they'll come up, they call it beats. Well, I'm quite sure you know that. And they'll maybe just rap on top of it and maybe run like one line, a line that they hear, a simple line that they may hear on the keyboard or something like that, and that's it. But the difference is musicianship. You know, learn about music, you know. Just don't, you know, listen to anything. Just learn your music. Learn how to read some music.
Learn the basics.
Yeah, learn the basics of music. You know, it makes a big difference. And the difference is that's why Brick is still here today, because it was musicians that got together, and they all know how, you know, they know music, and they put this thing together, and it worked. You know, but today. You got YouTube and you got everything now, okay? And you know, guys can come out, put something on YouTube and be an instant hit the next day.
Overnight sensations.
Overnight sensations and stuff like that. So, but as far as music goes, there are some rap music that I like. Okay, I mean,
well, some of it samples you guys.
Yeah.
Some of it uses your guys' beats.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them sample our music. So, but hey, well, we got paid. We got paid for it, you know. What's his name? Hammer. Yeah. MC Hammer. He used Dusic, and he used a track, and he called it "It's All Good." You remember that? It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Well, you know, and Kid and Play use all the different ones use our music, but you know, we get paid for it.
Slowly, you get paid for it.
Right.
Well, maybe Belinda can help with that too.
Oh yeah.
So, you guys are out there on the road. You know, what do you have coming up? You know, in the near future, and are we gonna hear some new music, do you think, from Brick?
Yes, I really believe you are gonna hear some new music from Brick. You know, we are basically now getting back out just to be in it, playing and everything.
Once I'm manager,
we actually what we're gonna do is record a live album. That's our next step, is to record a live album. Brick doesn't have a live album, and that's what we do that I think that'll be very successful and get us to, you know.
We're just gonna give the people opportunity. For those who didn't get a chance to see us live, then they can take us home and have us live because they're missing a damn good show.
Yeah, we need to do it live.
Yeah, if you see it live, you ain't gonna never want to see it no other way.
Yeah, that's it.
When should folks start looking out for that, do you think? And, you know, do you have a lot of shows coming up? They should also, well, where should they go to get more information, first of all?
Thebandbrick.com, the website.
Thebandbrick.com. You can go there and you can get all our information.
Up to date on everything.
Up to date on everything. The dates coming up and everything.
Pictures and
everything.
It's a new world over there. Check it out. Everybody need to see it.
Yeah, they need to see that.
But hopefully, starting the next year, we will start working on a live album.
Right.
And we're gonna bring it in a big way. Only way Brick can do it. Upside your head, hard and funky.
Well, if you guys come to North Carolina, I'm definitely there, and I'm definitely there when the record comes out. You can bet on that. I actually have I actually have some possible song titles, you know, for you. If you come back, you know, the new millennium with Dazz, you know, you can do Dunk or Faz or Fusic, you know. So those are some ideas. Run with those if you want.
Hey. I hear you.
Tell Eric that, you know, Eric do it.
I'm sure you've heard that before. Is there anything else you guys would like to add? That anything else you want to plug?
The new guys.
Oh yeah, well, we have a young lady that we added as a background vocalist with Brick, Cherry
Brown.
Cherry Brown is her name. Cherry Brown. Eric Flores is the bass player. And also Jaron Cox is the keyboard player. So we just wanted to mention those names, you know what I mean? People know.
In the near future, we'll probably have pictures out of the group so you can see it.
Right.
Remember, go to thebandbrick.com.
Thebandbrick.com.
Can't forget that.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us, Scott.
Thank you. Well, with that, it's time to wrap up this edition of Truth and Rhythm. A huge thanks to my special guests, Regi Hargis, Jimmy Brown, and Victor Alexander of the legendary Brick. Thank you again so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to look out for upcoming Truth and Rhythm episodes and catch up with previous installments at funkandstuff.net, YouTube, iTunes, and other leading podcast providers. If you're an artist or a music industry figure interested in being a guest on this program, or a fan wanting to see a particular person interviewed, send me an email and let's see if we can make it happen. Until next time, on behalf of Jimmy, Victor, Regi, and Brick, this is Scott, Dr. Jigs Goldfine, saying keep on vibrating to the rhythm of the one.